This is a message from the government's chief medical officer about coronavirus.
How hard is it to wear a face covering on the side of the road at the Tour de France? Seriously. Just, you put it on and you wear one. The riders come past. Boom, you're not infecting them. Congratulations, you have destroyed the pandemic. So why am I seeing countless amounts of people still not wearing masks or face coverings on the side of the road? Come on! Je suis back here, everyone, and welcome back to another set of previews. I'm angry because there's a global pandemic on and people don't give a shit at the side of the roads. Anyway, let's start off with stage 16 from La Tour du Pin to Via de Lens, and this is going to be a interesting stage. It's a very, very different alpine stage, so we finally head into the Alps properly. And to be honest, I don't really know what to make of this. So on the way to the line, we have the category 2 climb of the Col de Porte. We saw this at the Critérium Dauphiné. That's where Primož Roglič took his first stage win of that race. Then we go to the Côte de Revel, a category 3 climb, before heading towards Saint-Nizier du Moucherotte, the biggest climb of the day. It's a category 1 climb, it's 11 kilometers at 6.5%. Yes, I had to read my notes. It also has a bonus second sprint on top, and guys, get ready to drink, because you know why. You know why this climb is specific. On the top of Le Moucherotte, there is a ski jumping facility. Yes, it was used in 1968 Winter Olympics in Grenoble. You know who used to be a ski jumper? Who was it who used to be a ski jumper? I got no response there, because y'all know it's Primož Roglič, the current yellow jersey of this year's race. So, there we go! The final run into the Via de Lens, it's 20 kilometers of flat before we head to the category 3 climb of Via de Lens, Côte 200. Don't know why it's called the Côte 200. Because it's not 2,000 meters high. It's 2 kilometers at 6.5%. Now let's move into predictions, because I'm about to mention a name. Julien Alaphilippe. I think the man from Deceuninck Quick-Step and from France will finally take his stage win. He's been in the break hunting down this elusive stage win, and it hasn't worked out. So this might be the day, and if not, it could be his young protege, Mark Hirschi of Sunweb, who goes for it. This is not going to be a particularly important day in terms of the King of the Mountains. I would suggest that the King of the Mountains contenders keep their powder dry, but Bernard Cosnefroid might try to do this, because the climbs aren't that difficult, and they're more sort of favourable towards Bernard Cosnefroid, just like they were on stage number 2. Where he took that polka dot jersey. In terms of GC, I think this will still be Primož Roglic's day to be in yellow. The bonus second sprint, if it does come down to the peloton, Tadej Pogačar has to take every second he can. He can almost halve his deficit just by winning the bonus second sprints and the final sprint on this stage. So it could be very significant for the young Slovenian. Okay, let's move on to stage number 17 between Grenoble and the Col de la Loze. It is the first proper alpine mountain stage that we're going to have this year. An all-category climb in the form of the Col de la Madeleine. Then we have the Col de la Loze, which I've already made a whole video on. So if you want a more in-depth analysis of that climb, I suggest watching that video. It's slightly outdated now. I'd say that Bernal's going to be a contender. Whoops. But nevertheless, it's still a video to watch. So we still have to wait 80 kilometers in this stage to hit any mountains, the first one being the Col de la Madeleine. We go from the south to the north this time. It's 17 kilometers at 8%. It's an all-category climb, the first one we've had in the Alps properly. And from this point we head down on the descent, 20 kilometers of a descent. Then we have 15 kilometers of flat before the ascension of the Col de la Loze, which starts in Brive-les-Bains. So the Col de la Loze is 21 kilometers at 8%, and the last kilometers are very, very steep, hitting at around about 20% for those ones, averaging about 12-13%. This is going to be a really, really tough climb, and it is the highest in terms of altitude. The last 2.5 kilometers are a straight line, which will make it all the more hard for these riders. But who do I think is going to be up there? Well, I don't think it'll go to a breakaway, purely because of the condensed nature of this stage. I do think that a breakaway will go and probably take the points over the Col de la Madeleine, as we saw on stage 15 when the breakaway managed to get all the points before the Grand Colombier. I think we're going to see Pierre Rolland and Jesus Herrada try to get into the break, because they need every point they can get for the King of the Mountains classification, which could change hands at the end of the day. Then I think it's going to be a GC swamp at the bottom of the Col de la Loze. We're going to see Jumbo turn up the pace and really challenge this race again. Because we're heading above 2,000 meters, I'd like to think that we might see Quintana, Uran and Lopez go into their own, purely because of their Colombian roots. I think that it's definitely a day for Miguel Angel Lopez of Colombia. But it's hard to look past Roglic and Pogačar. Pogačar needs every second, as I mentioned, and this is where he can make the time before the Planche des Belles Filles. This, I think, will be the stage where the Tour is decided because of the nature of the Col de la Loze climb. And the yellow jersey at the end of the day may well win the Tour de France, but it's all dependent on what the time gap is between Pogačar and Roglic most likely. But we could always see someone crack. Pogačar was very honest after stage 15 at the Grand Colombier, saying that any day he could crack, and so could Primož. So Col de la Loze seems to be the final straw for that to happen on the road. Okay, let's head to the final stage of this block between Méribel and La Roche-sur-Foronne. It's a big day for the King of the Mountains points, as we have many on offer, notably these ones. So we're going to start off with the Cormet de Roseland. We were supposed to go over that last year on that truncated stage 20 to Val Thorens. It's a category 1 climb at 18 kilometers at 6%. Make a note of that because I'm going to highlight the inconsistency in the classifications. Col de Cézy comes after that, a category 2 climb at 14 kilometers at 6% average. Then we have the Col des Aravis, a category 1 climb, 6 kilometers at 7%. Do you see what I mean there? And then we have the Montée du Plateau des Glières, which is an hors category climb, with a bonus sprint at the top, and that is just 6 kilometers at 11%. Okay, that is very, very inconsistent. So ASO, answer yourself. This doesn't make sense. Make this make sense. Oh well, we move. The final 10 kilometers are downhill, and then we have a very, very technical run-in. We have 2 level crossings, 2 big corners, and a roundabout to negotiate in the final 3 kilometers. But this has a breakaway written all over it. Of course, I mentioned the people going for the King of the Mountains. I'm going to suggest someone from Age Desert. Nantes Pétas would be fantastic for this kind of stage, as it's a bit more of a rouleur finish. But I believe that we'll see Jesus Herrada, Pierre Roland, maybe one of the guys from CCC like Simon Geschke go out in the break. But ultimately I think it'll be for the breakaway. The peloton will probably be tired from the day before at Le Col de la Loze, and also they'll be trying to keep their powder dry for La Planche des Belles Filles. This looks to me like it might be a decent opportunity for one of the guys from Ineos, such as Kwiatkowski or von Barle, to go for a stage win. I don't think this will be a GC race. I'd love to see them light this up, but the climbs come way too far from the line. The bonus second sprint could be very lucrative for Pogačar or whoever is within the vicinity of Primož Roglic, especially as the gap will be very, very important for the final time trial. This really is the last chance saloon if anybody wants to make any time gaps before La Planche des Belles Filles. But nevertheless, that is it from stage 18, 17 and 16. The final week of racing will be underway very, very soon, and we will know who our winner is in just 1 week's time. I'm recording this on the rest day, so in 1 week there'll be no racing at all, which is interesting. I am assuming that there is going to be a Tour de France. They're having very worrying tests today in terms of COVID, and with the outbreak in the Ain département that we went through for the Grand Colombier stage, it may be quite telling. Anyway, I am still not Caleb Ewan. Remember to tune into the Cycling Day channel for live streams and so forth, and watch that Col de la Loze video, and I will see you round.